sign up to an open session. Let's unpack some shit together. Let's get you on your best path to being your greatest self. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's get started. So, ooh, man. I don't know how y'all been feeling with this eclipse season. And this Mercury retrograde thing that's about to end on, I think, elevation 44. I was watching a video today. I think it ends on 28th. But we aren't out the woods yet. You know what I'm saying? This energy is still around and it's still kicking up some dust. So I'm curious on how you guys have been really feeling the past week or so since it's the 25th. Okay, thank you for correcting me, elevation. I want to know, like, how y'all been feeling the past week? Talk to me. Ascend through healing, I appreciate you. Yes, she said channeling is A1. The guys speak through him effortlessly. Oh, that's sweet. That's love. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. We'll tap in with your team and we'll help you work through some shit, man. Yeah, time to live your best life. Let's go. So, how you guys been feeling the past week? You know, what you been working through? I know I've been working through some shit. Much better than the week before that, I will say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of breezing through things a little bit more succinctly, more easily. All right, so Elevation 44 says she was sick last week. Mercury in the eclipse said, lay your ass down. Right. Yeah, man. I think quite a few people felt some symptoms from the eclipse too. Like they were feeling a little heavier than normal, or having like headaches and stuff like that because the energy is real. Like that joint was humming. It was humming. That energy was humming for sure. Said I've been feeling emotional blockages, tired, anger, and blissful all at the same time. Woo, jeez. Sounds like you've been living a Forrest Gump movie right there. Emotions all over the place. Like, listen, I understand the full gamut of emotions. I'm right there with you, sis. Woo, I'm right there with you. Okay. Cool. Well, we aren't out the woods yet. You know, I've been having some conversation with some folks, you know, people in my friend group, family group, and stuff like that, and it's really been some. Oh, y'all laughing at me, Forrest Gump. Same. RB Rise, roller coaster of emotions. Facts. Yeah, it's the eclipse season, bro. And it's not to blame it on that. What it's doing is just pulling up, you know, the analogy I like to use is like, if you've ever seen like dirt in the bottom of like a puddle or something like that. Usually on the surface, the water seems clear. And then when you take a step in that puddle, or you know, if you're in an embankment near a pond or a sitting body of water, as soon as you step in, it's just like all the murkiness kind of comes up, right? Because you're judging up and you're bringing up the dirt. It's moving and it gets, the liquid then becomes cloudy, right? Or if you ever had like one of those natural drinks that they sell you in the store, all the green sediment is at the bottom and you got to shake that joint up so you can get the color back. That's what I kind of like view it or take it as. It's like these things are being brought to the surface so that we can work on them. Things that are deep subconscious beliefs, negative programming, negative ways of thinking that can't go forward with us, that we need to work through, right? So what up, West Coast Seraph? I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome. Peace. Thanks for pulling up. I got a Qigong massage yesterday, identified by pain in my kidneys is linked to spiritual illness of fear, scared of what's next, and my connection to my disconnect to my 9 to 5. Woo! RB Rising, you coming in with the heat today. Wow. Well, first of all, congratulations for at least you know what's going on there and what's causing it, right? Yeah, a lot of people don't know that your kidneys and your adrenal glands, which sit on top of the kidneys, are what creates the fight or flight or regulates the fight or flight response in your body, right? So the adrenal gland sits right on top of the kidneys, and that's what gets your, your adrenaline going, pumping and stuff like that. And so when we're constantly under a lot of stress, when we're constantly, under fear and things of that nature. We're drinking coffee and shit all the time. That system is in overdrive, right? And eventually it needs a break, and we're not really taught how to take care of the kidneys, how to flush the kidneys, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times when we have things going on in our body, it starts on the spiritual plane first, right? So in this particular scenario, you're saying that you're realizing that the illness comes from fear, right? When you're constantly afraid all the time, when you're constantly, and a lot of people don't show it, right? Like, even sometimes I just get scared or have feelings of fear for no reason, right? Like, and some of it can be harnessed and for the good. Like before I came on, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little nervous. This is week 5 of me doing lives, and I'm still nervous about that. You know what I mean? But some of that is a little healthy, but some of that isn't, right? Some of that is like, core beliefs of struggling with believing in myself, you know what I'm saying? Imposter syndrome, all that negative talk and doubt can come in and create issues. So it really does start on the spiritual plane, and then it carries on into the material plane as well through the body, and even affect you throughout life, Appreciate you, West Coast. Oh, Coach T, what up, Coach T? Good to see you. Oh, where did you get the massage? Sounds interesting. Yeah. Oh, y'all having whole conversations. I love this. Been feeling contemplative, free, easy, and just today emotional. Word. Okay, I'll take that. You're doing great, fam. I know the feeling all too well. Appreciate you, West Coast. RB facts. Yeah, man. So, in my circles, I realized that a lot of people were struggling with some things that were coming up. And a lot of it, of course, is irrational, right? Like, don't get me wrong, what's triggering it is real things coming in. Whether that's issues with, a partner, issues with family members, arguments, money ain't right, struggling with putting ourselves out there. We're all struggling with something during this time. And the key really is to address the emotions of how you feel and not ignore it. Many of us have kind of like avoidant styles. Just be heat. What up, boy? What up, Justin? Thanks for pulling up. Thanks for the support. So a lot of us are, struggling with the emotion of it all. We get stuck in the emotion that we're feeling. We get into the victimhood, which we talked about last week, right? Like it becomes on some woe is me type stuff. Artist, what up, gang? Thanks for pulling up, my guy. DJs from the bottom of the map. Hey. Seti, thanks for pulling up. Wow, that's what's up. So much love. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, so what ends up happening is something triggers you, and then you get caught up in the emotion, and then you get stuck into this victimhood mentality, some woe is me type shit. And there's no judgment in that, right? Like it's natural for you to feel the emotion. And I say this all the time, your emotions are here to tell you something about yourself. They're showing you something that you're either in agreement with subconsciously that no longer serves you, or there's something that you need to communicate about that you're unable to put together or to say, or more so that's specific to anger, but it's even in relation to just emotions in general. Like, let's say, I don't know, I had an issue recently where like I bought a class for like $1,000, and I decided to not do the class anymore because I did the class based on, when I unpacked it, some FOMO shit, like, fear of missing out, right? And at the time, I really thought that I was called to take this class for my own development. So the class hadn't started yet, didn't pay attention to the details, unfortunately. And so I go and I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm changing my mind about this class. I want to get my money back. And guess what? There wasn't a return policy on that thing. So your boy was pissed, right? Off rip, I'm like, oh, fuck, F no. Like, y'all niggas gonna run me my money. Like, What you mean you can roll it into other programs? What? Nah, I don't want to do no other programs, fam. I just told you, like, I just want my stack back. Like, what is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Man, I was so upset. Cause that's a rack. You know what you could do with $1,000? I mean, it's not a lot of money, but it's a lot of money. You feel me? Said the Caribbean act came out. My bad. You know, when I'm upset, the accent to come out and I want to start cussing people out. You know what I mean? That's how it go. But yeah. So you know the emotions of it all. So you know, initially I'm like upset and I'm like, yo, I'm about to go off. I'm like about to start cussing them out and writing a nasty email like, no, y'all gonna send me this money or I'm gonna report you to the the triple B, the business bureau. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are all the thoughts that are going in my head and I'm like mad. I'm like, I wish I could run up on somebody and like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, anger getting the best of you. And then I realized like, yo, I gotta sit down and just chill for a second, bro. Like, just breathe. Like, everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Y'all cry. Not the BPV. Yeah, man, I was upset, bro. You know, I'm a Cancer. We get petty. We get petty when we angry. Y'all know the vibes. Maybe you were meant to take it. Possibly. Well, I consulted with my team later again and realized that I didn't need to. And it was more so the community that I needed to tap into. You know, that's how I realized that I wasn't supposed to take the class. I was, you know, in a moment of reflection and I realized like, okay, cool. That actually isn't where Spirit is pushing me. Spirit is pushing me in a different direction within the same org. So because I couldn't get my money back, I had no choice but to use it on another situation within the group. And it's actually ended up working out because now I have access to a community of people that I really rock with, and which is what I would have signed up for anyway. It was just the fact that like I was losing what I felt in that moment, the choice to make the decision that I wanted to make, and because I wanted to be in control, right? And so I realized like, boom, that's the issue. The reason I'm upset, like, yeah, the $1,000 would have been nice, but it was because I was robbed of a choice, and I don't like feeling like I don't have control. And it's not really the I, it's really the ego part of me, right? My ego wants to use that for whatever I want to use it for, not for things that are out of my control. Does that make sense? Once in the chat if y'all feel what I'm trying to get across here. How many of you have ever felt that way, where you felt like you were robbed of a choice, or you're upset because things aren't going your way, or you had a plan for your money, you had a plan that you had in mind for something and it just went completely fucking different? Whether that was in a, I don't know, relationship, a partner that you really, really liked, or someone that you really, really fancied, to, I feel you, 111. Yeah, you know, whatever it is that you felt invested in this vision that you had and it just didn't go your way. That's a fact. That's right, Justin. It is life. But when we're in the moment, it don't feel like that's life. We get upset, we get angry, we get pissed off, right? We get hurt, we cry, we lash out, we want to take control again because we feel like our power is taken away. But that's not necessarily true. What up, Kilo? Thanks for pulling up, my guy. She said, yeah, I be needed a pacifier. Yo, I feel you. And a nap, you know what I'm saying? A nap helps a lot, yo, for real. Being taught something, learning to pivot 100%. Bingo, West Coast. You picking up what I'm putting down. You picking up what I'm putting down. And so, you know, I had to realize in this moment and take a step back and say to myself that like, yo, this is happening for a reason. There's a blessing in this. What is it that Spirit is trying to show me in this moment that I can use? Or maybe, cool, it wasn't meant for me to take this class, but maybe there was another class that I needed to take within the organization. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting pissy because I'm not getting my grand back. So I just wasted energy, right? Throwing a tantrum like a child. You know what I'm saying? Throwing a tantrum for what? For what? You know? And I really had to sit with myself for a moment, and I had to like start giving myself affirmations. And one of the affirmations, and I'll share this with y'all, and maybe this resonates with y'all. You know, the affirmation was that I used to help me get through it is, all is well and I am safe. Everything is working out for my greatest good. And I just kind of kept saying that to myself over and over and over throughout the day. And it really does help. And eventually I was able to work through and let it go and begin to change my mindset about the thing that was bothering me so much. Yes, a nap word. A nap word. That's the right attitude when I ask those questions. My energy switches. It feels good to acknowledge yourself and the ability to pivot. Facts. Elevation said the money will return tenfold. That's a fact. Come on. Give me them 10 G's, baby. Let's get it. Yeah, man. But that's literally what we do a lot of the times when stuff doesn't go our way. Whether it's a job that we apply for that we really wanted, again, a relationship, you know what I'm saying? You know, playing the lottery, whatever it is on any scale. It's just like whenever shit doesn't go the way that you want it to go, we just begin to pout and like, but that's a waste of your energy. I mean, allow yourself to feel it, but show yourself in that moment that there's something bigger going on that you may be getting protected from. Maybe this is your spirit team's way of redirecting you somewhere else. Like, you're close, but this ain't it. Or we're protecting you from a big pitfall, you know, months in advance that you don't know about. Because sometimes we can't see the forest for the trees, right? We can't see the entire picture when we're this close. But our spirit team, they're here to guide us. You know what I'm saying? They got the best view possible. They got the bird's eye view. They can see everything, and they can be like, yo, like, if you go this way, it's gonna get you in some trouble. But what do we tend to do? When we're not aware of how our ego controls us, we tend to make decisions based on what we want, and we try to control it, and we say, I'm going to make it happen for myself anyway. So if I allow my ego to take over the show, then I'm calling these people up and I'm cussing them out. I'm reporting them. I'm going to my my bank and reporting the charge as fraudulent. Right? Doing the most. All the while, probably blocking my blessings from something else that my spirit team has set up for me. But because my ego's running the show, I want to be right. I want to control the situation. I'm then getting in my own way. Y'all feel me? Y'all feel what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy how much this ego shit just really just be taking over, man. And it's not real. It's not true what it's trying to tell you, you know? You're not a slave to your emotions. 100%. Love that. Affirmations put the battery in your back. They did. They definitely did. You circulated money out of a pure heart. Money always returns home. Facts. Affirmations are a game changer. 100%. Kristen, welcome to the live. Thanks for pulling up. RB Rising. Yep. Gotta read the fine print. Nope. That's a fact. That might be the whole point of this whole live. Read the fine print, y'all. Ain't that some Mercury retrograde shit anyway? Like, they tell you to like be very careful when you're signing contracts and all that, because the details might be a little funny and you might overlook some shit. But yeah, man. But it just makes you really think that, like, how easy is it to get lost in your ego and what your ego makes you believe? Gotta read the fine print. That's a t-shirt. Yo, y'all funny as hell. Facts. How easy is it to get lost and forget about yourself too, man? So I want to segue a little bit too. Another thing that's been kind of coming up is because we are back to the bottle, you know, that bottle that you got to shake up because all the sediments at the bottom, all the good juices at the bottom, right? And you're shaking it up. And, that's the dark, murky stuff that we ignore, that we've been pushed deep down, that we haven't dealt with, that's coming up during this time with the eclipse season and the Mercury retrograde in Aries, which is, the I am, the self. One of the things that also comes up is you realize that you haven't been showing up for yourself. And what you realize is that when you allow your ego to run the show, the ego will try to, at all costs, keep you exactly where you are in this moment in what it deems so-called safe. But you see, the ego, unfortunately, gravitates or holds on to things that generally are based in lack mindset, right? So I'll give you an example. Let's say, you realize that you're a jealous person, right? And you just chalk it up to like, oh, I'm just a jealous person, right? But it's deeper than that. If you unpack the layers and your attachment to your ego has such a belief in lack based upon maybe you dealt with a death early on in your life, or maybe you grow up in a single parent home where your father left you and your mom to fend on your own. There's so many examples of people leaving people. Maybe your best friend as a child left you and moved away, or whatever it is, somebody left you. Now you have this belief in the system that that people can be taken away, and you don't want that to happen. So when you like someone, when you care about someone, when you love someone, you can begin to get jealous. But when you unpack that, the fear is that they're going to leave you, right? And what we tend to do as human beings when we are moving through our ego space, the ego would then do one or two things, right? If you're a jealous person or you have feelings of jealousy, I'm not speaking through relationships for this example, then you might really cling to that person really hard, right? So now if your partner is talking to anyone that you deem a threat because maybe they're an attractive person, or you see something in them that you admire and think that you don't have, and now you want your partner and someone else talking, and now you're like, motherfuckers. Right? And you feel some type of way. And there's a belief system that we don't need to unpack today, that there's this mind energy that humans have created, that like a person is yours and yours solely. That's a whole conversation for another day. We can unpack that another day. But on some real shit, like, if we, instead of operating and saying that like, yo, if I truly love someone, I'm able to let them operate in their freeness and let them be their fullest selves, I would rather be angry, jealous, cuss my partner out for talking to somebody that I deem a threat. That's not even a threat, because that person probably ain't even trying to get your man or your woman or whatever it is. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Does this resonate what I'm trying to tell you? Your ego will make you completely change the narrative to a story and have you thinking like it's the worst absolute scenario. And that shit will keep you stuck. Your ego will tell you shit that like, yo, I'm not good enough, right? So now, like, I'll give me an example. For a long time, I wouldn't post online. I would not post online. I was like the biggest ghost follower. You know what I'm saying? Like, Coach Tia tell you, like, up until maybe like last month, I maybe had like 6 photos or whatever on here. I would drop like once a year on this joint. But I would be on here all the time, just like taking in motivational videos and workout stuff and whatever it is else that I used to like. You know what I'm saying? Or I liked. Playing it small, not showing up. All because of this idea in my mind that I wasn't good enough. And the reason why I thought I wasn't good enough is because, as a child, my father and my mother, they got divorced. And, daddy wounds, like many of our generation's fathers, they either were there and ain't shit, or they wasn't there and wasn't shit, right? Many of them. You feel me? And so it began there, right? Like, why don't he love me? Why doesn't he want to be around me type energy? Right? All the while that plagued my life, in addition to other things that kind of compounded to playing it small, right? Not putting myself out there, not wanting to be seen, not wanting to be exposed, for people to see who I really was. Because maybe if they got to know who I really am, like my father did, then they're going to leave me or chastise me or throw me away. I agree with that 100%, but I believe the issue is that people hold that idea as a partner who doesn't. All right, West Coast, let me know what you got on that second part so we can unpack that, because I feel like you're going somewhere with it, and I'd love to chop that up with you. But that ego shit is real, and we would be stuck in it in the moment because our emotions are going crazy, and we would literally allow it to ruin our life. I'm sitting here with a gift to give to the world. Meanwhile, I'm letting some bullshit because my father couldn't step up because of his own insecurities and his own trauma as a child relegate me to not living my fullest potential. When you say it out loud, it sounds crazy, but we do this shit every day. No cap. Yes, this is why shadow work is so important. The trauma usually stems from a place where you're not consciously aware of. I see this all the time with my clients. Facts. Talk that talk. Ascend Through Healing. She got that hypnotherapy. I think she has some free consultations right now. Book one, man. Tap in with her. She'll get you right. A partner who doesn't hold the same idea of belonging to that person, you are mine idea. Doesn't hold the same idea of belonging to that person. Right, facts. Man, listen. A lot of the stuff that we get from our ego is based on lack mindset, lack, fear, shame, and guilt. And shout out to Elevation 44. Earlier on in my awakening journey, she would say this that helped her. I hope you don't mind me sharing Elevation. She would say, I don't make decisions out of lack, shame, fear, or guilt. And that just always stuck with me. Shout out Cosmic Phoenix. What up? Thanks for pulling up, sis. Sweet pea. Welcome. And I was just like, when she told me that, I was like, that is a bar. Any decision that you're making out of those things are just not going to give you anything of benefit. If I'm staying in this relationship because I'm afraid that I won't find something better, because I'm hearing horror stories of like what it's like out here. It's ghetto out here dating, girl. You don't want to be out here in the streets. Type energy. You know what I'm saying? Or you're working a job and you're like, yo, like, I'm really not fucking with this job that I'm working. I want to do something better. Like, I feel like I'm called for something greater, but, it pays me well. Like, I would be stupid to drop a 6-figure job, even though you have a calling for something greater. That's that lack mindset shit. What up? I love the support in here. That's what's up. What up, Sweet Pea? Hey, Cosmic. 100, we should make decisions from our core values. 100%. That's a fact. That's what we should be doing. But most of the time, y'all, we don't realize because we haven't really done let me not say we haven't done the shadow work. I feel like a lot of y'all in here right now are pretty awake and have done some level of shadow work. But it always is continuous, right? Because it takes these I'm thinking I'm good. Like, I'm like walking on my path. I'm doing my thing. And then this eclipse hit and it's like, bow, dropped them. Yeah, universe just sucker punched the shit out me. And I'm like, oh man, I'm unpacking some shit right now. You know, so the work never stops. But the point is that I realized through these different conversations and me working through my own things that a lot of this shit is the ego. A lot of this shit is my ego, and it's running, and I'm allowing it and being the conscious. I'm not being conscious of it. I'm not being a conscious observer. I'm just reacting to life. I'm not being intentional about decisions that I'm making. Or I wasn't. So see, it's important to really get to know yourself on a new level. Like, this is why we're here. This is why we're in this joint on earth, to learn more of yourself. And the more that you know yourself, AKA the more that you realize that you are not your ego, you are not your feelings, the better your life becomes. You become more free. You become less afraid of being told no. You become less afraid of posting online. Because you enjoy, like, you deserve. She said, I agree, some of us do not know our core values. That's a fact, man. Shit, that's a lot we can unpack there. The universe gave you the 1-2 combo. Yeah, it did. Give me that Mike Tyson Shinyuken uppercut. Nice Trini Ting, thanks for pulling up. What up, Nell? Sun Goddess was good. Thanks for pulling up. Hi, Steph. Thanks for pulling up to the live. Appreciate you. So, yeah, man, we let this ego thing really run our life. You know what I'm saying? And we just get lost. We get lost. And so when we get lost in our ego, then we stop showing up for ourselves. Because even though we hate our 9-to-5 job, we'll never leave it, even though we're super miserable because we're getting to the bag or we're getting money, or the fear of what we're really called to do, or we don't know what we're called to do, though we have this feeling that something greater is out there. The fear of what that looks like, the fear of rejection, you know what I'm saying? The fear of the unknown, because the ego needs to feel safe. And here's the thing about the ego, and I might have said this last week, but I gotta say it again, like, the ego will normalize dysfunction in your life. You know what I'm saying? It really, really will. It's like, I was talking to someone about this the other day. I think it's called Munchausen syndrome, where you're like, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, if I'm using the wrong term. But it's basically where if you're kidnapped, you fall in love with your captor type energy. Like, that's kind of like your ego on some real shit. Like, you'll be in an abusive ass relationship where the person might be emotionally or physically abusive, and you won't leave out of the fear that there are worse people out there. Like, that's where your mind goes. Yo, this ego be working in a number. Stockholms, thank you, Stockholms, appreciate you. What I say, Munchausen? No, I think that's an eating disorder, right? Munchausen's? I don't know. Anyway, Stockholm syndrome. Thank you, y'all. Appreciate it. That's why I need y'all here, because I'll be saying the wrong shit. It's Mercury retrograde. Appreciate you. Well, legit, like, it'll have you feeling like everything is okay in dysfunction. How many times have y'all been doing something in your life and then you find out a new way to do it, which is like a huge thing on the internet, right? Like this whole idea of hacking. Oh, Munchausen is when the parent makes the child sick for attention. Thank you, wholesome life coach. I appreciate you. You know all the terms. I love that. Appreciate you. But yeah, how many times have y'all like learned something new or a new way of doing something on the internet? This stuff is viral, goes viral all the time on like TikTok and Instagram. And once you know of that new way of doing it and you realize that it's better, you're like, oh shit, like I've been doing it this way for the longest. Like something that I realized recently was like the seasoning like bottles, the top with the circle holes at the top. Apparently you could like twist the thing at the top to help the stuff shake out better. You know, sometimes it gets clumped up after a while, you know what I mean, after you're shaking it over. So you can kind of just twist the top. I was like, yo, that's fire. Had no idea. You know what I mean? Brother Sincere 7 taught the psychedelic class last night. He dropped the gem. Ego stands for easing God out. Ooh, damn, I love that. Pierre with the 1-2. Appreciate you, Pierre. I love that. Easing God out. That is a fact. That is a fact. And I'm not here to demonize the ego as the enemy, but we're talking about something to help us live a better, more fulfilling life. Your ego does have a purpose, and I've said this on lives before. It's here to help you survive traumatic situations, but you have to become the conscious observer and not be a slave to your ego, because sometimes your ego is helpful, right? My ego today told me like, oh, I wanted to match my hat with my logo because I thought that was fly. It's Year of the Dragon. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I wanted to look half decent for y'all today. Well, for myself first, but also, you know, it helps you want to achieve some things or care about certain things. You know what I mean? So it does have a purpose, but we have to understand that the negative aspects of the ego, we don't pay enough attention to. Yes, we must master the ego. That's a fact. Peace, Jamie. Thanks for pulling up. So yeah, man, we gotta break free of the ego. And like Pierre just brought to the joint, like, you know, it really is easing God out. Connect to what your soul truly desires. In relationships, I know in the past, a lot of the times I was making decisions out of ego. You know, like, damn, she fine, she look good as hell, she gonna make me look good, I like her body, I like the way she dress, you know. And then I'll ignore the red flags. We're having conversations, they can't go too deep, but my ego and my physical nature is just like, yeah, I just want to hit. I'm keeping it a stack with y'all. I'm keeping it real, being real vulnerable with y'all right now. You know, I had to overcome those things. And realizing that when I get in these situations with some of these women in the past, it's like, why isn't it working out? That's because you're making shallow choices. That's because your ego is saying, hey, I don't think I'm good enough to be loved. So I choose people that make me feel safe in this trauma pattern that I'm in. I'm choosing women that won't challenge me. I'm choosing women that won't go deeper, because then that means I don't need to go deeper and I don't need to change. But then like my higher self will shine through at moments and say like, yo, this ain't it. Like, you keep banging your head against the wall at some point. You gotta make some type of change. You feel me? So that's the thing, y'all. We really gotta work on understanding the ego more and beginning to make choices that aren't in the lack mindset space. So making decisions that aren't out of fear, shame, or guilt. And maybe we'll do another live deeper on that, because I feel like there's so much that we can unpack about this that we don't have time for today. So maybe that'll be next week's live. But yeah, we just gotta do better. So anyways, this eclipse season has been amazing for this and bringing those things to the forefront for me. And you know, people around me who, you know, are struggling too, and because we're all struggling, bro. Like, we're all going through it, and we're here to assist and help each other through this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what the community's for. Like, you know, my category 3 folks, thanks for pulling up. And yeah, it was just a great conversation today. I challenge you guys going forward, you know, throughout the rest of this week, like, just in the choices that you're making every day, take a second and just really just think like, yo, is this decision I'm making out of any of those negative emotions, lack, shame, fear, or guilt? You know, is this an egoic decision, or is this a decision that my higher self believes? Because your higher self, I should add, will always choose things that's going to help you grow. It may be challenging, but it'll show things like self-love. I'm putting myself on the internet because I realized I needed to step up, and I had a gift that I needed to share with the world. And so if I'm gonna say that I truly love myself, then I need to be my full self in its full capacity and not hide anymore. Yeah, I was the dude that was cool with being in the back. You know what I'm saying? In my circles, I can be the center of attention at moments, but like when it came to putting myself on a larger scale, like I was like, You know, like certain people are really good in small groups, but then when they get to big groups, they turn super introverted. You know, that's what I like in that too. But I'm here to show up because I got work to do. I'm here to help people work through their emotions and the way that they think and to rebalance their mind. So it's time. You know, a lot of y'all in this chat are already doing it. But if not, like, use this as an opportunity now to show up for yourself in a new way. Put yourself out there online. Challenge yourself to do something great. Listen to your intuition and not what your ego is telling you. I don't know. I think it's a great place to end this. Thank you so much for pulling up with me. Thank you so much for your time, y'all. I had such a blast, as always, kicking it with y'all. You guys are absolutely amazing. We're going to be over here next week, same time, new message, whatever spirit wants to bring to the forefront. We're going to talk about. She said, yes, your gifts are gifting. Oh, I appreciate you. Help me. I'm so excited that you finally coming from behind them curtains. Hey, yes, man. Gratitude. Thank y'all, man. Appreciate y'all, yo. Let's pull up next week. Make sure y'all bring y'all favorite beverage. Also, again, the podcast with me and RB Rising 1, aka Rashana B, is out on YouTube. Search for @SpiritualGemsPod, P-O-D, on YouTube. It should come up. Follow, like, subscribe, share with a friend. You don't want to miss that. For real. Yes, fam. Gratitude. Thank you. Appreciate you. Can't wait to see the replay. Keep ascending, family. Aw. Appreciate you, Jamie. You already know. All right, yo. Coach T with the fire bombs. And with that, we out. Thanks, y'all. Peace. Love y'all. Take it easy.